have released videos showcasing the moment the targets were hit successfully. We break it down for you here. I'm going to go over to the big screen and exactly show you where India in fact targeted these terrorist training centers and hideouts as well. Of course, the first one is the Sarjal in Sialkot. It's a terrorist camp. It is used for training. Indian authorities have been monitoring what has been the moment of these particular camps, people going in and out at certain times. In fact, also the pattern that was studied confirmed that these were terror camps. These were in fact being used to train people to attack India. The Pathankot perpetrators were in fact trained here. This is exactly the place where that death warrant was signed by these terrorists. The camera, of course, here is a little grainy, but it goes on to show you the explosion as and when it happens. This is proof that India has substantiated the world with, whereas Pakistan has been putting a lot of lies on social media about downing a few Indian jets while they have no proof. They've been peddling old footage and saying that this is an Indian aircraft. This was the target, as you can see, and there is some movement, kinetic movement in the middle of there as well that goes on to strike, and there is the explosion. A lot of people said that they got up because of the loud explosion, but when they opened their windows and doors, they thought that the sun had come out. The illumination was so much. This is a massive flash which happened. This was a target which was chosen very, very carefully. It was chosen to minimize any kind of civilian casualties. India, in fact, was given a lot of feedback by our intelligence agencies as well, the RAW as well, that went on to confirm that these are terror camps. This is the place where the indoctrination of these terrorists happens, and this is Operation Sindoor that we are talking about. This is another camp in Kotli. Of course, once again, there was a precision strike here on a Lashkar-e-Taiba camp. It is a bit grainy, but once the explosion takes place, you are able to see what exactly happened over here. The target was locked in. This is perhaps another aerial aircraft which was monitoring the attack and the explosion. As there you can see debris flying almost 100 feet above the point of impact, and you can see smoke which is of course colored in this instance, whereas the rest of the footage remains to be black and white. This was destroyed at 1:04 a.m. This was strike number 2. In fact, what we are learning is that 25 or 24 missiles were used. If the Sukhoi was deputed, that means the BrahMos was also employed and deployed to destroy some of these sites. In fact, it goes 5 times the speed of sound, and the Pakistanis would not have guessed what hit them. This is the Lashkar-e-Taiba terror camp, and this is the image before, a satellite image, a cross-sectional image which tells you what it looked like before. This was used for infiltration. Arms and ammunitions into Poonch and the Rajouri sector were being fed from this particular location. This was another target, which was Bhimber in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. And within just a few seconds, the explosion happens, and this is of course a very calibrated surgical strike which goes on to tell you that this terror camp has been destroyed, and all the assessment of the confirmation related to what these people are up to was given to our military, the armed forces in advance. The operational headquarters of the Jaish-e-Mohammed, an organization which has been notorious for killing hundreds of civilians over the last couple of decades. It was a 15-acre complex. It housed 1,600 cadres who in fact lived there. They were groomed there. There was a mosque over there. In fact, some of them were not even allowed to go outside because if remember, a lot of these men who are in fact indoctrinated are young. They are vulnerable, and that is the reason why they are exploited and why they are put into these positions. The Pulwama attack, which happened in 2019 on the 14th of Feb, found its perpetrators being trained at this particular location. Consists of a gymnasium and a swimming pool as well. So obviously all of these facilities that you see were mobilized as well as maintained by the ISI and of course the Pakistani army. Next to Karachi Torkham highway is the Subhanallah Bhavalpur Markaz, which was attacked as well. Very close to the highway of Pakistan, which is the NH5, which also connects them to the BRI. which China has proposed. So this is another important area which needs to be looked at a cross-sectional view, because this is a huge area where a number of facilities were provided to these terrorists. I'm going to in fact rope in my guests and take some questions. We'll try and analyze what's going to happen next. India has made very, very clear in its statement that this is non-escalatory. This is only targeting the terrorists that have wanted to harm India. This is only targeting people who want to wage a war against India. Group Captain Dr. V.N. Jha, former Indian Air Force officer, with us on the show. Dr. Sharad Kohli, senior